wondering why it says there's two Jam Jessicas in here.
That's
Chris had to log in under my account tonight because I have storms possibly coming through and I didn't want to lose power and lose the recording.
oh yeah, I get that for sure. I mean, I guess we're supposed to have storms. I don't know. Every time it does that kind of stuff around here, it doesn't. I mean, doesn't do anything. So
Well, you're lucky then, because
that's
isn't like St. Louis supposed to be part of like Tornado Alley?
yeah. It's Highway 70. It's like a I don't know. It always follows 70, but where I live, it's I live near the airport, which is right next to 70, so I'm right next to it. But my house is kind of down in a I don't want to call it a valley because I live in like a suburb, but like it's just kind of lower than everything else. So like what year was that? 2011, a Good Friday storm that happened here where like it wiped out houses all around here. I was in my basement. My oldest was like months old, maybe, maybe was he months? Whatever that was. And we were down in the basement and I'm looking out one, the little tiny basement windows and like nothing's happening. Like, or actually things were happening. It was loud. It was, you could see things moving and then it was over and I went outside and like my trash cans hadn't even moved. But then two streets over, whole house missing.
Well, you got lucky then.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So I was like, that was like the time where I was like, okay, I need to go in the basement from now on. Because now I just like before I would just stand in the living room and look outside going, I don't see anything. And then like was it last week or the week before? Massive like tornado siren on my phone, like an alert at like 4:30 in the morning. And we were just like, okay. So me and my wife, we get up and I'm in the living room again, just looking out the window, going, nothing is happening. I'm so pissed because I was like, I'm not waking my kids up and taking them downstairs. It's a school day. Like I can't. I'm not waking them up early.
Yeah,
So whatever.
it happens. Sucks that they had to wake you up at 4 in the morning though.
It blows. Where are you guys at? Where do you live?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in upstate New York, just outside of Syracuse.
Okay, sweet.
So
I
he's not
guess.
getting bad weather tonight, so that's why he's recording.
No, we've had all day.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, he's
Like
talking
it was
about it.
like
It's been really hot.
well, no, and we've had thunderstorms. Like it wasn't supposed to rain at all. I dropped my youngest off at pre-K, and I'm like, sweet, I'll go home and for exercise when it's nice out, I'll go skate around the neighborhood for like 30, 40 minutes. And as soon as I pull into my driveway, it starts pouring and thundering. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
And then my dad was like, "Hey, let's go out for ice cream after dinner." And I'm like, "Okay." We finish up and it starts thundering as soon as we're ready to head to the car. I'm like, "All right."
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
hopefully it's done for the night. But
I hate my biggest problem with storms is like the first 10 years I lived where I live, the wind would blow and my power would go out. Like, I mean, it would
Mhm.
be nothing and the power was constantly going out. And then I think finally, about 9 years ago, they like trimmed a bunch of trees and then I think they put some power lines like underground so it doesn't go out as much. That's my biggest pet peeve is when the power goes out. Because now I'm just sitting there going, well, now my food's going to go bad and it's going to be hot because I get aggravated when it's hot. So,
it's like the opposite at my house. The power will go out on the most perfect, calm, sunny day for no reason. And then we don't lose power during snowstorms or like windstorm. Like, what?
it's super bizarre. I'm going to take this hoodie off real quick. Sorry, guys.
It's fine.
All good.
Do what you gotta do. Oh, look, a jersey.
Sorry. It was, thought it was colder in my basement than it actually is.
Yeah, Chris is in his basement. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But I've been I feel like I've been sweating all day.
It's that time of year.
It's especially here in St. Louis. It's the fucking worst. It's like we get like a week and a half of cool spring weather, and then it's just all right. Here's 100 degrees with 95% humidity. Have fun.
Yeah, the one St. Louis Warp Tour I went to, it was like 110 heat index. It was
Mm.
so much fun.
That's how it was in '04 when we played. Like, I think we had a day off the day before. So we came in. I like went and looked at my house that I was going to buy like for like 3 hours. Like, I mean, that's all I had to go, you know, whatever. And then we showed up. We didn't do a signing that day because it was too fucking hot and we knew it was St. Louis. It was going to be too long. So we just said no. We didn't do any press. We just said we're going to play and then leave. And it was it probably 100 something degrees out. Like I remember dunking my head in one of the ice coolers that held all like the cans of water that Monster had or whatever it was then.
Hmm.
And like it was so hot. And like we played, I walked off stage, got in a car, and I went home. Or I went my my wife, her mom's house at the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting a bunch of stories out. So if you get whatever you guys want to start, I'm good.
We are so happy to be joined by the amazing drummer and man of many jerseys, Josh Wills of Story of the Year. How are you doing, Josh?
How are you guys?
We're great.
Awesome.
So, Josh, I must know, how many jerseys do you have now in your collection?
Okay, so I used to have so many. And then like over the years and like during that long break that we had, they like got thrown away or donated. They just kind of started disappearing. So for a while I didn't have any. Like, I had zero basketball jerseys. And then what did I get? I got a couple just that I saw that I wanted. And then uh Mike Cronin, he purchased several for me.
Of
Uh
course.
sent them to us. So he started like rebuilding my collection. And then this last when we were out on the 20-year tour, I a couple different cities I went and found like I didn't have anything for that city. So I went and found some. Like I went to in Toronto, I went to the actual um arena where they play and I bought a jersey there and I did it a couple other places too. I don't know, I might have I call it like 12. Not
12. Oh man, I expected you to have way more.
yeah, I just they're expensive.
It's
Like
true.
that they're really I mean, if you want like a good one, I mean it's at least $130 probably. And
Well,
I
yeah,
you
if you
know
don't want to knock off.
yeah, no, so there's a couple that I want that I haven't gotten yet that I will order at some point in time. But we're not going to those cities, so they're not very like I have to get them right now.
Right.
So but yeah, I
So
own
you
a
just want a jersey from every city now?
it helps. Like you're repping their city while you're playing there. I think that's cool. I like when like people come through here and they'll wear like a Cardinals jersey or something like that. So I like doing that. If I'm going to play in a basketball jersey, I might as well. There's been a
Right.
couple where I'll purposely wear one that is opposite of what I should wear in that city, just to
Yeah.
poke people. You know,
Do you have a Bucks jersey?
I do.
Oh, well, you have a Bucks jersey.
School Bucks jersey. It's a Garnett jersey. Kevin Garnett. So it's a what do they call those ones? Like Michelin Ness hardwood classics. It's not like a new one. So, like right now, I'm wearing a Denver Jokic jersey that my brother-in-law just gave me. So, yeah, there's a couple that I want. I want a Curry jersey. I want a Luca jersey from Dallas. Um, there, my favorite jersey of all time that I don't have anymore. I used to have a Kobe high school jersey. Like it was Lower Marion, like the maroon one. It was my favorite jersey, and that one went somewhere I don't know.
Maybe you lost it on tour.
It's possible. I know I donated a couple to Hard Rock when they like wanted like equipment. Like we had to give them like what we would play in. So I gave a couple jerseys to that, but I don't think I would have gave that Bryant jersey to them. I need a new Bryant jersey too. So you know,
Yeah, I know how collections go.
yeah, it just happens.
So we should probably ask and get this question out of the way right at the beginning because I'm sure everyone wants to know. Y'all are working on some new music. Is there anything you're allowed to share about it?
Um, I mean, I could share whatever. I mean, it's so early that there's not much to share. Like Ryan is Ryan and has already made like 3 demos, and we went to LA last week and hung out with Colin, our producer, same guy who produced Tear Me to Pieces. He's going to do the new record. Went over some songs with him, got some initial ideas for a few things, and then again, like we did last time, we met with a couple other like songwriter people and just kind of took a couple of Ryan's demos and kind of worked off those, and we left there with, I don't know, 4 song ideas. Not, I mean, there's parts that will change or we might not use later, but I mean, it was a good start. It was a good feel for kind of what we want to do for the next record. It's not going to be, I don't think it'll be like a massive departure. We're all really happy with what we did with Tear Me to Pieces. The label's happy. They just kind of want us to do it again. So, like,
Yeah.
we
I
did that.
mean, it's a phenomenal album, so
Yeah, no, we all really love it, and it's working. Um, like I think it's for the first time since Spotify's been around, War is number 1 over Until the Day I Die. Like if you look at like
yeah.
past whatever days or whatever. So I mean, and if you look in like our top 10, I think half of them are from the new record. So I mean, that just shows me it's working because like we're old, so we thinking about streaming and how that translates to how successful a record is and all that stuff is, it's weird for us. It's not like, oh, you sold this many copies this week or whatever. It's, you got to go based off streams, and it's a weird world to navigate for us because we're just old.
Well, yeah, I mean, things are definitely different than when Until the Day I Die came out.
So yeah, I mean, it's the initial stages have been good. Just kind of, we'll Ryan will keep writing like Ryan does, and um, I think we might go to Nashville to work with some other people just to kind of um get some more ideas going. And I mean, I don't anticipate us like really recording anything for a while. We got touring to do, and he's working on stuff, Colin, our producer. So um I can't imagine we'll like start actually tracking anything till like next year.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not that bad because really, if you think about it, Tear Me to Pieces only came out like a little over a year ago. It feels like
Yeah.
forever ago, just because we finished it the summer before it came out, so it was done for a long time. And the way the way that we put out songs and stuff, the label just kind of, I guess that's the way they do it now. I don't know. They just release songs and then give you the whole record. And I guess the mindset is if you can extend an album cycle because it's not the same as it used to be where people would just buy things. You put out a record and people would buy it, or you'd put out a video and then they'd buy more. More people would buy the record who just heard it. Now it's so instant that if you like release a single and then put out a record, you're last week's news already because everybody's got that whole record at once on that week and on that day. And then you kind of have to, it's a different model than it used to be. So it's very strange.
Right.
So yeah. But so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. We might like, the hope was to like maybe have a song before When We Were Young, but we don't know. If that happens, it happens. If not, if it won't, like we're not just gonna put anything out just to put something out. So
Right. I mean, when you guys put Bang Bang out a while ago, that was way before the album got released.
oh yeah. I mean that was just a one-off recording. Like Ryan had a song and our friend Matt in St. Louis said he'd track it for us, and we just did a one-off song. And then um we just felt like since it was just kind of a one-off and we didn't use it for much, it was just kind of like there. And then when we did Wolves, it was like, okay, we'll put that on there too, just because it's done and it's a good song. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, keeping on the subject of music, when Ryan writes a song, what is your approach when adding your drums in? Do you tend to be more technical or just serve the song and make it happen?
As heard
Or
you
or when do you decide if something is too overcooked and complicated and less is more?
oh, most of Ryan's stuff is overcooked and complicated. And it's an open joke. He's calmed down a lot. It used to be way worse. But it I don't really listen to demos until we know what we're going to use. Cuz I don't if I'm like stoked on like a song and it doesn't like do anything for Dan, like what's the point? Cuz we're
Right.
not use it cuz he's not going to write anything to it. So it's I don't listen to demos really until like it's like okay, here's the whatever how many songs. And now it's even different because we know that anything we bring to the table right now is going to get torn apart and put back together. So I just kind of try to listen to it and go, that's a cool song. And I try not to pay attention to the drums because I talked to him about it last week. I go, dude, it's amazing how drum wise the stuff that he hears and what he like programs out in his demos. And I'm like, I don't understand how you heard that drum beat or that fill or whatever. And most of the time for him, it's he hears a certain fill and it's not like I want it to be exactly like this. It's like this is the feeling of the transition that like I'm hearing. He doesn't care about it being played exactly like that. Like you know what I mean? It's just very like I feel like it needs to kind of do something like this here. And that's just what he hears and then later on down the line it'll change or sometimes it doesn't. He's gotten a lot better with programming how I actually play. Like Dan was always really good at that because Dan plays drums. So if
Right.
he wrote something and demoed it up, like he would the way he programmed it, I listened to it and I go, yeah, that's probably what I'd do. Like you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. So it's it's one of those things now where it's going to go through so many filters till it gets to the final version that I don't really pay attention much to drums in the beginning until the song is done. Then it's just kind of like okay, here's the kick pattern that needs to go along with it because it matches the vocals or whatever. And then, you know, you just kind of do everything else on the fly most of the time. And I got to relearn it later. Drummers get the shaft when you record drums. It's like, all right, we got 3 days to do 12 songs. Get them done. It sucks.
That does sound like it sucks a bit.
It's not fun.
And you're the heartbeat of the band. Come on.
No, nobody gives a shit though.
So I'm curious, over all these years and all these songs and recordings that Story of the Year has put out, are there any songs that you're personally surprised by that have been received well by fans that you didn't think would be?
Nah, pretty much everything we write is awesome. So,
I'd agree.
you know, I don't I don't know. Like, I mean, personally speaking, I'm surprised that people like the constant, like as a
I
whole.
know you guys hate the constant, but a lot of us fans, we love that. We
I,
love that record.
there's cool moments on that record for me, but I think we've said this before. It was in such a weird time for us that I think we all just kind of have like a bad taste in our mouth for that record. We were rushed back into the studio. I just don't think we were in a good spot until like almost be forced to go make a new record. Like it was all very forced and we can tell.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been really surprised. Like, I always like all of our records. Like, I mean, I'm biased. It's my band, but I'm really into all the songs. I like listen to our music all the time. Like, I feel like if I was the singer, I wouldn't. It would be weird. But being the drummer, I mean, I like listening to our records. I just do. Like, I don't know. I just
Yeah, I mean, normally you have the best seat in the house as a drummer because you're usually up higher. Have you
yeah.
ever noticed like when you guys have sang like newer songs over the years that the crowd just isn't into it?
Oh yeah. I mean that happens a lot, especially like, before streaming. You think about before streaming, it's like say we did like an album release show in St. Louis. That record came out that day. And then we're trying to like play like 4 or 5 songs off the record. It's like people just heard this like on the way here. You know what I mean? So it's I that you notice, but um I don't know. I just strictly speaking with the most recent record, like that this has been the first time that I can remember where people are singing the new songs as much as the old ones. Like not just kind of standing there staring at us. Like I don't really know this one. Because you go to a show and they play, any band that plays a new song, you're like, this sounds cool. I don't really know it, but I'm also trying to pay attention if I really like it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
it's a weird thing to play a brand new song live, especially for a band like us where um the energy of the show is like we feed off of it. And if like we're trying to play this new song that we love and people are just staring at us because they don't know it, that makes us go, oh, should we not play that one live? You know what I mean? Like, so it's hard. Um, but yeah, like going back to the original question, I don't know that I've ever been like surprised because here's the thing. You, the loudest voices aren't necessarily the majority. So, you get people going, I want you to play this. I want you to play. Yeah, you're one person out of hopefully 1,200 people that come to the show. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. You don't really know like what the like majority would want to hear. You know what I mean? So I mean we always know that anything from Page Avenue works. It just it does. So that our sets have been Page Avenue heavy for 20 years.
Well, yeah.
But there's new songs off Tear Me to Pieces that I wish we would play live that we haven't yet just cuz it came out in the same year as our 20th anniversary of Page Avenue. So we didn't really get to like headline a new record. So there's songs that we haven't played that I would like to play live. We just haven't gotten around to it.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I mean,
segue. And go ahead. I was gonna say it's a good segue to my next question. What's your favorite uh deep cut?
Deep cut
Yeah.
through our whole catalog.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh man.
coming
I'd
at you with the hard questions.
I mean I'd have to go like record by record. Like so I mean nothing from Page Avenue is a deep cut anymore, I don't think. Like from Page Avenue, Dive Right In's my favorite to play. From In the Wake, I don't know. That record is weird to me. I like, but there's parts of the like. It's like I like a song, but I only like 75% of a song. Like I love Taste the Poison, but there's things about it I want to change. Like or like Stereo. Stereo's rad, but the end of the song it should have ended like 45 seconds before it actually ended. Like it just goes on for too long. Um so but I mean from that record I love Sleep. I just do, but I'm an OG emo, uh so yes, for that would Sleep would probably be my favorite off that record. Um Black Swan, geez, We're Not Gonna Make It or Angel in the Swamp is one of my favorites.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it's my favorite.
Awesome. Uh Constant. Um
My home. I love that song.
I love
That's
that
coming
song.
up.
Yeah. Constant, I really don't know. I mean, I whatever what's the first song called? I can't even think of the name of it. Um The Children Sing. I like that song a lot. That would be what I would think of right away. Um, Wolves, uh, Praying for Rain's my favorite off that record. Um, Tear Me to Pieces, Sorry About Me is up there for me, and Knives Out, Knives Out doesn't get a lot of love, but I love that song.
You know, that's my husband's favorite song now. He's like, it's grown on me so much. That's now my favorite song.
It's a slow burn, but it's good.
I think a lot more people are actually been starting to like that one more.
Hey, awesome. Maybe we could play it. I don't think the rest of my band will want to play it, but
Just tell them all the fans want it. Come on now.
hey, guys, 6 people out there really want to hear this song.
So what are your top three hardest songs to play?
Hardest to play?
Yeah.
We haven't played them.
Out of the songs you guys play live, which ones do you hate playing the most when it comes to drums?
Um, geez. Tear Me to Pieces. That's one of I. It's just I don't know why. It's something about the verse. I don't know, something about the pattern in the chorus too. No, not the chorus, but like the heavy part. I don't know, something about it with the has having to do with my kick drum foot and going to I don't know. It's something that I struggle with. I don't know why. I just do. I think it's because like at live, I tend to, even though we play on a click, I tend to like rush things. So like something about like the kick drum, I don't know, whatever. Tear Me to Pieces would be one of them. Um, wouldn't Falling down isn't hard, but it's always in a spot in the set that sucks for me. Like on the anniversary tour, it was like second to last or some shit. So like I'm so worn out by then that like trying to play that, and plus like I'm always anytime it's cold outside and we're on tour, I'm sick. So I just have zero energy by the end of the show. My arms tighten up real hard. Um, what else? I don't know. I mean, I don't really think anything else is anything I like dread playing. I mean, most of the stuff we've been playing for so long that it's just kind of like it's second nature now. Um, Bang Bang kind of sucks. The bridge, like it's just a lot of movement. So I always like worry about that right before we play because like I can't fuck this part up. I can't fuck it up.
Yeah, because I've heard that if the drummer messes up, then it's all your fault.
Oh yeah, if the drum. Here's the thing: if the drummer messes up, everyone knows. It's so apparent. And that's it's one thing I'm happy about as we've gotten older is like anytime any of us mess up anymore, like we just laugh.
Yeah.
Like before it was like, you know, the 7 minute meeting after we played, you messed up that part and you messed up that part and this and it was just like, what are we doing? Like we're not machines. We're gonna fuck up, you know.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
I do take
auto
a
sorry.
lot. Oh, you're good. I do take like a lot of like pride in trying to be super consistent and I try to play everything like the records as much as I can. Um, some things I don't know that I'm physically able to do anymore. Like certain fills and stuff, like my body doesn't work the same anymore, or even to the point where I've gotten almost better as a drummer. Hold on, my mic. Am I on? Here I'm sorry, guys. I yanked it out of my head. Um, I've gotten like better. So some of the weird stuff I did early on, it just isn't natural anymore. So, you know, there's certain fills on Page Avenue where I'm like, I can't like I don't play that way anymore. So I have to alter it a little bit. But I try to keep everything as close to records as possible. Because I know when I go to a show and there's a drummer that I really love from a record, I want to see that played how it's on the record because that's how I remember it. You
Right.
won't do like a drum solo, some shit like in between, cool. But that song is that song, and I like those drum parts, so play those drum parts. So I try to do that as much as I can. I'm not 100% on, but I try to.
Well, I've seen you guys play so many times over the years, and I don't think I've ever noticed you mess up when I've seen you. So,
Oh, I'm sure I have, but that's the other thing too. It's like we mess up all the time, but nobody else knows.
right.
Half the band doesn't even know half the time. You know what I mean? And you do know if we mess up because we'll look at each other and start fucking laughing, like, and just kind of go, well, let's just keep it moving. So, yeah.
Still there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. The next question is yours.
Oh, you guys have like a
We
syllable
do.
or
I sent you a message. It says you read it, Jess, that I was skipping the next one because you already answered
Oh,
it.
sorry. I didn't read your message.
We're 100%
We're
professionals. You
always
cannot tell.
on
Oh,
top of things.
you heard our podcast, right?
Oh yeah,
We're
super professional,
Yeah.
especially when Bobby's there.
I love him, but he's a lot.
He is a lot. But yeah, so have you ever considered lighting your cymbals on fire again, like back in the Big Blue Monkey days?
I haven't even thought about it. I think we only did that because Darren from Goldfinger used to do it. I've never even thought about it.
Now you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm also like, something stupid will happen. Like it's my luck. Like it'll drip down or some shit, and then like my toms will catch on fire, ruin my drum set. Like,
It's true. You do have nice drum sets.
I don't want to mess my things up.
I can understand that. I mean, you don't want to like have a third degree burns or anything like the Falling in Reverse tour that was just happening. They just had all that fire debacle.
Oh wow, yeah, no, yeah, no, it's just something stupid would happen. That's just kind of how my brain works, where it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Somebody else
Yeah,
do it. You guys go ahead. I'm all set over here.
you're all set.
Yeah.
So this next question actually comes from my husband.
Okay.
He wanted to know that over the years, Story of the Year has played many shows and toured a ton. Has there been anything you do to condition yourself physically before and during tour to handle all the touring, especially back-to-back shows?
No. Well, so it's different for me than it is for them. I don't run around all over the place. Yes, I'm moving all the time, but my lower half of my body's not like really exerting a whole lot of energy. Um, I have found that the only thing that really gets me in tour shape is just playing shows. Like we can rehearse for 2 weeks going up to like a tour, and I'm still getting cramps and like muscle like tension and all that stuff for the first 3 shows because when you're rehearsing, you don't have the same adrenaline that you do when you go on stage. When I go on stage, I'm holding everything tighter. I'm playing way harder than I would in rehearsal. Even at rehearsal, if I'm trying to play hard, it's not the same. So, for me, it's before a tour, if we generally know kind of what a set is before we actually all get together, I'll go start playing on my own. Just kind of knocking the cobwebs off. Like just kind of, because when I come home, I don't generally play. Like we've been off tour for what I played a little bit before we did that show in Orlando. I'll play a little bit before we go to Montreal. Like I have too much going on as like a person to like go play drums all day.
Right.
I've never been, excuse me, I've never been that person. Um, Even growing up playing drums and stuff, I wasn't that kid that like sat in his room and like did rudiments, and to my detriment nowadays, because there's shit that I should know that I don't know. Like one of the most basic things to learn on drums is a double stroke roll Still can't do one. It's just I never learned how to do it, and I'm too old now to go back
To
and
care.
our music doesn't require a lot of that stuff. And I'll play along to other people's records. It's one of my favorite things to do. That's how I learned how to play drums. But I just I don't play a lot when I'm home. So gearing up for like a tour or recording, something like that, I'll play a lot more. But it's not even like hard. I'll just play along to Rage Against the Machine's first record, or you know what I mean? It's just getting the motion back. And then, we rehearse. I mean, we're so lazy, and like we'll rehearse like twice before a tour. Like that's it. And that's mostly just to, if we change any kind of links in between songs, to like make sure we know those. Other than that, eh. Dan likes to rehearse a lot to get his voice warmed up, which is a different thing. But I don't really do anything. It takes me 4 or 5 shows to get into like tour shape,
Yeah.
depending on like the length of set. Like when we did Yellow Card last year, that was nothing. I mean, we had like a couple 40-minute sets and everything else was a half hour. So it was like I don't even break a sweat because it's the venues we were in were like cold and air conditioning and or whatever it was. It just like you get off stage and you go, huh, I don't even feel like I played a show. But yeah, I don't really do anything. Like I'm starting to try to be in just better overall shape. Like I go through spouts of like working out, and I'm trying to be a little more diligent this time and eating better. But I love food so much that it's hard. I'm trying like a super kind of like none to low carb situation, and it sucks because I fucking love pizza. I love sandwiches. Like it's just hard for me. But yeah, I don't do anything extensive. I don't, at least. I don't know what anybody else does. Ryan's always in shape because he's Ryan. So
Well, he's a ninja warrior.
he's he's got ADHD so bad. I don't really. He can't not sit still. So, but yeah, I like it. Long answer, but no, I don't really do much. It takes me about a week to be ready to like be on tour. So yeah,
And so your most recent tour was the Page Avenue 20th anniversary, which was an amazing tour. You guys were out for an extended amount of time there. How was that tour for you? Do you have any, and also on top of that, do you have any fun, memorable moments or stories from the road on that one?
it was awesome. Like it's one of those things where um and specific to Page Avenue, like you think back 20 years ago when we were like in the middle of all of it, you didn't realize kind of what was happening. You know, not to say we were fucking Foo Fighters or anything, but we had some success. Like shows were big, we were touring a lot, album, all that stuff. But it took probably 5 years removed from it to go, oh, wow, we did something pretty awesome that kind of helped shape a music scene, you know, not that like we like started it, but we were part of like that initial batch of bands that kind of brought us to where we are today in whatever version of wherever we're at now. You know what I mean? So, um, but the recent run where we were playing all the whole record, like you just kind of really go, you come to appreciate it so much more, not for just kind of what it did for us, but what it did for so many people. Like, and you see that like every night, not it isn't just like it was 20 years ago where you got 14 and 15-year olds screaming lyrics. You got people in their mid 30s, like crying and belting out lyrics. And it just, you go, it's one of those things where you just look at it and go, oh, This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Was that me? That was so loud.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. You know, I thought about putting my stuff on do not disturb on my computer, and I thought I did it. Sorry. But it was one of those things where I just every night I was just blown away by the energy from everybody and how passionate people still are about that record. And we had so much fun. I mean, I was sick 70% of the time because I have bad sinuses, so anytime it gets cold and dry, it immediately goes to a sinus infection. I thought I
Mm.
was good on the first leg until we hit, where were we at? Denver or Salt Lake, one of the two. It was Salt Lake. Played the show. I felt okay. I woke up the next day and I was a mess. We had to have like a doctor come out, and Adam had like bronchitis. I had a sinus infection. Our guitar tech Bond, like he was getting the sinus infection. It was a mess. So like the last like week of that tour was fucking awful for me. And then I got sick again on the next leg. I was fine until New York or something like that, and then it was just downhill. I was just it was anyway. Other than that, it was. I mean, we just had fun. It was just playing those shows was so much fun. Um, as far as like any kind of crazy thing, I mean, I don't know. Nothing really that stands out. Like we're old now, man. So it's other than the show, like if you had a camera follow us around all day, you would be so fucking bored.
Hey, that's what happens when you get older. I mean, you're just less crazy and less,
Oh yeah, Dan
stupid.
Dan sleeps till 2. Uh, me and Ryan are up at the fucking ass crack of dawn and just kind of hanging out. I mean, we were gonna like it was a yellow card tour. Our our merch guy Cam, who also like films stuff for us. We haven't done it. We'll probably do it the next time just because it is funny. Most of the day is me and Dan after he wakes up finding different places to sit throughout the day. It's like, oh, we're sitting on the bus. Now we're sitting in the dressing room. Now we're sitting in catering. Now we're sitting back on the bus. It's just because it's tour isn't. I mean, a tour is what you make it, but for us, it's boring. Other than the show, and maybe after the show, but other than that, like you're just sitting around all day waiting.
Waiting for the show to start.
Pretty much. We've always been. Our DVDs are misleading, I think, because I mean, that's 20%, 25% of like tour. The rest of the time you're sitting around. You're waiting to like play. I mean, but we had a lot of fun. That was the biggest part for us. It was, and that's our big thing now. It's like this far into it, being away from our wife and kids and all that stuff, it has to be fun and it has to be financially worth it.
Yeah,
Like we're old now. I mean, we're in our 40s. Like we have responsibilities. We're not 23 where it doesn't nothing matters. You're invincible. Like, it's not like that anymore. So um but top top priority is fun. If it's not fun, what are we doing? You know,
right. I
but
definitely had fun at the Milwaukee show, so
we had fun too. I love that venue so much.
I definitely almost lost my voice from all the lyrics
You,
and
you
screaming I did.
didn't go hard enough then.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm old too.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, dude, it's hard for me. It's hard to get me out of my house to go to a show. I have to really, really like you as a friend, or I have to be fully in love with a band. I don't even remember the last show I went to here. Sunny Day Real Estate when they were touring on Diary.
Yeah.
That was the last show I went to, which was
My
amazing.
my biggest thing is I want to go to all these shows, but then they're always like during the week and I have to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, I don't. I, it's hard for me because I'm also like jaded and spoiled. So like if I go to a show, I have to know somebody so I don't have to be in the crowd. And it's like not like I get noticed because I don't because I'm the drummer, but I don't want to deal with all of it. I put me on the side of the stage. Let me go to your dressing room and go to the bathroom. Let me get a drink from there. Like
Yeah.
I'm spoiled now. And then, I'll openly admit that.
So I was super excited when you guys were announced to be playing not just the Phase Fest in Milwaukee. I bought my tickets pretty much instantly, of course. But I know you guys played that festival last year. How was that? And are you stoked to play in Milwaukee this year?
We did a Kansas City one, right?
Yes.
Um, it was fun. I'm pumped. Like it's a good lineup. Like that's all you can really ask for. I know it's gonna be a good show. I mean, we'll already be out with the used, so
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, it'll be a shorter set, which is fine with me.
Hey, you're like, it's fine with me for the short set. But
Love it.
I'm going to be there. So
Okay.
my goal is to get pictures with everyone we interview. So I got
Hey,
to find you.
it's fine. Come find me.
I'll try my hardest. If not, I'll message you on
What
Instagram.
is that at? Where is that at there?
It's at Franklin Field.
Is that like a minor league baseball field or something?
I think so. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
at some place. They do a lot of shows there now, and a lot of people in the neighborhood complain about the noise.
Well, as you would, I guess. So
But they've never had not just a Phase Fest in Milwaukee yet, so.
okay. Yeah, I mean the only one we did was the Kansas City one. Um, it was so fucking hot. That's my
But I
own.
did buy the VIP tickets, just not like VIP VIP.
I got you. What perks do you get?
I think I get to go in like some tent or something. I don't know.
Maybe like a private porta potty.
Maybe. I'm hoping for some air conditioning in this tent because it's going to be hot.
I think air conditioning in a tent works. That shit doesn't work.
It worked at Warp Tour.
Kinda.
Kinda. It's better than being outside in the blazing sun.
This is true. I, you couldn't pay me to go to a Warp Tour now.
Oh,
Like
I would totally go in a heartbeat.
as like a person, just a normal, that's just kind of hanging out. No, no fucking way. It was miserable being in a band on Warp Tour. It was so hot, and gross. Not knowing when you were going to play the next day. Ugh, it's the worst. We'd always have to play the nights we partied real hard. We'd have to play at like 11:30.
See, you guys just partied too hard, and that's what made it horrible.
We didn't party hard all the time. It's just the ones that we really did party. It was like, oh, story of the year partied hard last night, 11:30. Good fucking luck.
Kevin Lyman was paying attention to what you guys were doing.
Oh yeah, he was. He was at our parties. But yeah, but yeah, I am excited to play. I think shows like that are cool. Yeah, I'm just excited to like go play shows. I mean,
Yeah.
like Ryan's favorite part about being in a band is the studio. My favorite part is playing shows. That's my favorite part.
So, still talking about Phase Fest.
Yep.
You're also that is part of this tour stop for the used tour.
Mhm.
So how excited are you to be on tour with the used?
I'm super excited.
Because it's been a while.
It's been 20 years or a little less because we did tour internationally with them. But I'm pumped. I mean, we've been with the same management again for 3-4 years now, and uh, it's I'm excited. Like we just been like, hey man, we should probably tour with the used, huh? Right? And it just never happened. And now it's like, okay, yeah, here you go, do this one. So yeah, no, it'll be fun. I think obviously we have a lot of crossover fans. Um, so it'll just be fun for them probably more than anything, to see both of us playing together again. So yeah, a fan of the used. I've always been a fan. So it'll be fun to see.
And then after the used tour, you guys are headed to Australia. Um, how are the crowds in Australia compared to the US?
How can I phrase this? Depending on where you're at in the US, uh I mean Australia and Japan are my favorite places to go. Like they just go off. And it's no disrespect to US shows. It's the US is uh in comparison, like they're jaded. I mean, their favorite bands come through all the time. You go to like Australia, Japan, I mean, even like Europe, whatever, they only come there like once a year or every 2 years or three or whatever. They don't go there very often. So when you go there, they go hard, hard in the paint. Like, and it's fun. They're so much fun. I love playing shows here in the US. I do. But it's a different energy. And I think it's because they don't get to see it very often. They can't just go, "Oh, I'm gonna fly to the US and fucking go watch whoever." It's a $2,000 plane ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's different. I enjoy it. I just love Australia in general. Everyone there is so happy. Like everybody's just always in a good mood. And how can you not be? Like the weather there is gorgeous all the time. And then like here's the other thing too. It's just different enough from the US to seem a little different, but also the same. So you're comfortable. You know,
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Australia. It's always been a bucket list of mine, but hopefully it'll happen someday.
if I could move there, I would. But they don't let people come to their country because they're smart. They say we got all our shit awesome here. We don't need you coming here fucking it up. But yeah, no, I love playing there, and it's gonna be fun because we're going with Census Fail, and we love those dudes, and um their guitar player Jason is one of our favorite people on the planet, and for anyone who's coming to the used tour, you'll see a lot of him. I won't say any more.
Just a little teaser there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see him at some shows.
So you mentioned Europe and you guys are going there in November with Yellow Card.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you guys were in Europe? I'm trying to think.
I mean, Europe proper, I don't even know.
See,
Early
those shows are going to be crazy then, right?
2010s, maybe. The last time we were on that continent was 2019. What's that festival?
Well, there's Slam Dunk.
Slam Dunk. That's what it was. We did the 2 day Slam Dunk in 2019. That was the last time we were on the continent. So yeah, those shows are going to be rad. I mean, it's with Yellow Card, so they're going to be big shows anyway. Um, and it makes it even more fun because we're with them and we love them. So, um, but yeah, I'm stoked to go back there. It's one of those things where it's like it's hard to go there because it's twice as expensive to be there, and it's like it's essentially touring here, but twice the cost. So it's hard to go there because you're getting the same guarantees monetarily as you would here, but you're spending twice as much money. And like I said, when we go places, we got to make money. If we're going to be gone, we got to make money. It sucks to say. It's always all about the music, and that's fine, but we're grown. So we have to pay for things, you know? So, but I'm stoked. It's going to be super fun. I'm really excited about it. It's a real quick trip. I mean, it's 12 days we'll be gone or something like that. I'm going to
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Formula 1 racing bar in London. It's like it's a bar that's got like sim racing, and I'm super stoked on that because I'm a giant Formula 1 fan. So
So besides like potentially messing up while playing, have you guys had any oh shit moments while performing
Yeah. Uh,
that stand out to you that you remember?
where were we at? It was just this last tour, the last Page Avenue run. Fuck, what city was that? That wasn't Chicago. It was somewhere else. I can't remember where we were at, but it was towards the end of the set. We're playing Falling Down, and my in-ear wireless pack died. And if I can't hear anything, we're all fucked. They follow me, and if I can't hear the click track and all the shit and whatever, so like it happened, it went out. I thought it like came unplugged, but that song is like I'm moving the whole time, so I can't pause the show of like whatever you know backing track, whatever the fuck's happening. I can't do anything because I'm playing. So it happened. I tried to kind of like feel the timing, and it was a fucking mess. And finally, Dan just turns around and goes, "Stop it," because things were off. Like everything was going to be off. You know what I mean? Like, so that was a very oh shit. Like, but nobody's fault. Like, I think because of whatever venue we were in, it was so cold. It was the heater was broke or some shit. I don't know, but it was so cold, and I think it prematurely drained the batteries for my like in your pack or something. It died. It's never done that before. I've had my pack fall off and get unplugged. I've never had it just die in the middle of the set. And I'm the worst person for that to happen to when we're playing because everything is off of me. So that was a very oh shit moment. Um you know, Adam broke his foot. Bond tore his Achilles filling in for Adam. Those are oh shit moments,
Yeah.
So,
Bon had to wear a boot.
oh yeah, he did. Poor Bond. He's okay now.
How how did Adam manage performing last year with an injured foot?
Um, just kind of didn't jump as much. I
He
mean,
did take it easy.
well, I mean, so he broke his foot on that like little quick second leg of the yellow card tour. So it was, you know, he had to deal with it for about 10 days. Like, I don't know, maybe 7 shows he had to play on it. And then I think we were off for a while after that. I don't remember the end of last year very well. Oh,
Yeah, because I think it ended up getting injured what, like a few days prior to Syracuse. I saw you guys in Syracuse and I was shocked to see him up there.
yeah, it was the St. Louis show on that second leg. So it was like the second show of the second leg. And yeah. So I mean, he dealt with it, whatever. And then I think because we had to leave then like that night to go to the next city. So like he didn't go to the hospital or anything. He just kind of dealt with it for like 10 days and then went to the doctor when he got home. And like they took x-rays and it was definitely broken. Like he broke some tiny bone on the end of his like the edge of his foot. So yeah, and I don't even think he ever had to. He might have had to wear like a boot or something. I don't know, but we were home, and he was.
Yeah.
I think he was fine by the time we went out for the first leg of the Page run. So,
I feel
well,
like I remember him posting his x-rays or something
he probably did.
of his foot.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he was fine. I mean, he's done worse. Like, fully had to wear a boot for a long time because God, was that 03 on Warped? He like rolled his ankle and like tore things, and it was bad. He even like
I
after he had the boot on, we were playing. This was one of those tiny side stages, and
Ernie
like
Ball.
I don't even think it was smaller than Ernie Ball. It was I don't remember what stage it was, but it was tiny. And he like lost his balance and like fell onto my drums while we were playing. and like my ride symbol got pushed into my chest, and I'm just looking at him going, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's looking at that face of like, "I can't help it. Like I just fell." So, but injuries are a thing, I guess. I don't know.
especially as you get older.
I guess, yeah. I've never been injured on tour. No. I injured myself like a day before tour. I sprained my wrist bowling. My thumb got stuck in the ball. And when I threw it, it like twisted my hand this way. And like it was on Black Swan tour. Like the first like week, I had to play like with it wrapped, and I took like a Tylenol 3 before I went on stage. Like it wasn't fun. But yeah, nothing crazy.
So, Josh, level with us here, right? How much of the crowd work and banter is repeated material? Aside from the average, this is the best show city location of the tour.
Um, I would say 90% of it is not like a daily thing. Um, the banter isn't that's very spontaneous. I mean, there's some shit that Dan says like every night before a certain song or what, but every band fucking does that. So that's not that weird. But our banter is definitely not the same. I
There's
mean,
always something new to banter about
oh
every
God.
night.
We have this whole system on stage where we have these like talkback mics that like only we can hear. And so I'll have to hit it and go, shut the fuck up. Like, let's go. You're talking way too long about dumb shit. Because Adam will get on a roll and say some like outlandish shit that like he shouldn't be saying. So, he always likes to have like some kind of lost profits joke or something. So, uh, and I just kind of have to go. I'll start the intro to the next song like in the middle of them talking. Like, keep it moving, guys.
So our next question is actually a fan question. This one comes from Amanda DeVay. What has been your favorite band to tour with, and what's your favorite memory touring with them?
Mm.
That's a tough one to answer.
Because you've toured with so many people.
And then everyone else you don't mention is gonna be like, what the fuck?
What? Here's the thing. There's different reasons why each band is a favorite. Like we toured with Amberlynn so many times because we love them as people and we have fun with them. And um I mean probably to like our careers like detriment, like only taking them out for many tours in a row. Like not expanding like, oh, let's bring out this other band that we could get a different fan base from. We would be in the middle of a tour with Amberlynn planning another tour, and we would just go, hey guys, you want to do this next one with us? Like, but they're just good people. So that was just fun in and of itself, just because we love them as people. We love their music, but we love them as people even more. So that was, you know, a favorite. I mean,
Uh,
Lincoln Park, like that. I mean, just the opportunity. I mean, we were playing. If we were headlining at that point in time, it was 300-400 people, and then Lincoln Park, you're opening, but even if you're opening, you're playing for at least 8,000 people. You know what I mean? So that and like we were just not. We had never experienced anything like that. We're catering and
yeah.
a prime rib and steak. What a giant meals of whatever you want every single night. And
I was actually excited to see you guys on that Lincoln Park tour, but then you didn't play the Wisconsin show because of Godsmack.
what? Hold on, what now? I know we had the Godsmack thing, but I don't remember not playing a Lincoln Park show.
You guys were off the tour in Madison.
I wonder why. I wonder
I
if
don't know.
thing that
I
we
was so upset. Like I went with my brother and you guys were supposed to play, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, they're not playing tonight." And like it was just Hoobastank.
I wonder if we had something that was like booked like prior and we couldn't not do it, like a radio show or some shit.
I don't know. I feel like I remember hearing rumors that there was just it was had to do with Godsmack.
Oh no, that had nothing to do with them. The Godsmack thing that was like after that.
Was it?
I think so.
That was so long ago though.
Yeah, but that was early '04. So I think the Godsmack thing was after that. But anyway, like that might have been the thing where we had like a radio show booked. Because on that tour, days off, we flew places and played. Like we didn't really have days off on that tour.
Yeah. I
Like
just remember you guys were supposed to play and then they said you weren't playing.
it's weird. I don't know what could have. I don't even remember that.
My poor little sody heart was broken.
Sorry. I don't know. No, but that tour was just an amazing opportunity. The exposure we got, um, the fun we had, because it was so crazy for us. But ultimately, like it comes down to the people, and like everyone in Hoobastank was rad, everyone in POD was rad, Lincoln Park was rad. We didn't know what to expect, because we had played like radio shows, but like you don't really get to know anybody on a radio show, and you say hi, but that's about it. But going out with somebody that big, you had no idea what to expect. They could be pompous assholes. They were the complete opposite. They're the nicest people. Like Brad came into our dressing room the first day and was just like, "Thank you for being here. We're stoked to have you guys. If you need anything, if anything's wrong, you come directly to us. Like there's no, even though we all know there's a hierarchy on a tour like that, but he's like, everyone's treated the same. You come to us with a problem, we'll handle it, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? They were just the nicest people. Um, and they'd hang out. It wasn't like they kept to themselves. And like, you'd have to go through like a little song and dance with like their security, but their security guards were rad. Like you'd have to like you'd get to know them over the like course of like the tour, and like, you'd have to go up to their dressing room and be like, "Hey, is whoever in there?" And then they just kind of give you a look, and they'd stick their head in the door and go, "Josh is here," and they'd be like, "Come in." You know what I mean? Like it was fun. It was so much fun because it was such like a departure of what we were used to as far as touring is concerned. Shows were massive. It was it that did a lot for us, like a massive amount of like exposure for our band, and we're forever grateful to them for that. So yeah, those are the two that come off the top of my head right away. We always love like when we get to play with the used. Especially back in the day for me, because one of my best friends in the world is the original drummer Brandon. Um, and I love that dude to death. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and still one of my best friends today. And it was just fun hanging out with him. I haven't played a show with him since 2005, so that's a bummer, But whatever, things happen.
Yeah.
Band lineups change, as we all know. But it's I get to see him when I go to like Vegas or whatever, because he lives out in Utah, but like southern Utah. So I get to see him then, and I'll see him this summer when Rancid comes through. And I told him, I go, "Hey man, I really need to meet Trey Cool, so let's go ahead and make that happen, because it's like Green Day, Rancid. I think Pumpkins are on some shows, but they're not playing the St. Louis show, and then a couple other people. But I'll be home for that, so that'll be a sweet, sweet day."
So this next question, it's sort of from my story of the year BFF, Andre, who is in the band Long Live the Lights.
Okay.
And he wanted me to let you guys know that you guys have been a huge influence on their band since they started the band.
Sweet.
But he wanted to know, is there ever going to be another Assassins?
I don't know, because everything is everything you film nowadays you immediately post. So it's not like it used to be where you curate footage. like a whole tour and then or whatever and then release something. Adam had the idea the other day to start. You guys know who Lonely Island is?
Yes.
He had the idea of doing like our version of digital shorts. So I don't know. I can't see a world where we do another one of those, but you never know. I mean, I think to do one of those, we would have to have somebody uh full time out filming like all the time. But like I said, fucking boring now. So like even if we did one, like it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be as cool as it used to be. Like me and Ryan are in our bunks before the trailer door closes. Like we're fucking dorks. Like, especially if we headline, it's like we play, I shower, I eat, I go to bed. There's no like super gnarly things happening. I mean, every now and then something will happen, but it's not like it used to be, especially with Ryan not partying like he used to. Like he was like him and Adam were the instigators of almost everything. And Dan didn't even drink back then. So
You didn't.
no, so I don't know that we'll ever have one again. Maybe some small things, but I don't think we'll ever have a full on DVD again.
Nah. And DVDs are really obsolete nowadays, right?
We talked about making like a short kind of like assassin sequel, like just with Timmy and the whole thing, like trying something different. Um, but I don't know how we'll ever do that. I'm if we wanted to, if we really wanted to do it, we could do it. But I don't
Well,
know.
now I got you thinking. We got you thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
And our final question is another fan question, but also a good friend of mine, Johnny, who resides in St. Louis and is a Story of the Year fan, wants to know the best St. Louis Chinese place and what do you order?
Holy shit. So the ones that I really love, they're not there anymore. So it's like there used to be this place on Page called Beaky, and they had it's like I say this with the most respect, like hood Chinese food is the best food, is the best Chinese food. Like Beaky on Page was rad. There was this place, kind of by where I live now. Fuck, I don't remember the name. When I first moved to where I live now, me and my wife would order it all the fucking time. It was so good. But I think there's this place that I think they had two locations. They only have one now. There's one called House of Wong. It's in Clayton, I think. If you're from St. Louis, you know where that's at. They're really good. Um, Now if I get Chinese food, it's just this place down the street from me. And I mean, it's not the best Chinese food I've ever had in my life, but it's good.
What do you order?
I usually get Mongolian beef with white rice with no rice sticks. I don't like those little rice sticks. They're pointless to me. And then I do like a dumpling, like pork dumpling, and then love crab rangoon.
Oh
But
yeah.
it has to be like hood crab rangoon. It can't be like crab rangoon from like PF Chang's or a couple of these other places. Like it's just not good. Like it's just that shit needs to be deep fried and sweet. Like and I all all of the sweet and sour sauce all over it. The packet's not the little container they give you because it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I also get like chicken fried rice with no onions because I don't like the texture of onions.
My
The
husband
Chinese
hates
restaurant
onions too.
the Chinese restaurant we order from got so lazy with their crab rangoons. They don't even fold it. It like all they do is fold it in half so you get a deep fried triangle.
Uh,
Like what
like
is that?
so I don't know if they're everywhere. I'm assuming they're everywhere because PF Chang's is everywhere. They have Pei Wei. You guys know what Pei Wei is?
Hmm.
Their crab ragout sucks. It's not like folded over and like tucked like good crab rangoon is. It's like this. It's like they just kind of take it and do this. I can't explain it. The out the the wonton part of it, is that what that is?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That part's good, but whatever the filling is terrible. It's not good. Like it needs to be bad for you. Like that's the only good Chinese food is the Chinese food that's really bad for you.
I do miss crab rangoons. I can't eat them anymore because they don't make gluten-free ones.
You're right. My wife's gluten free, so I understand the struggle.
It's a struggle, but when I did eat them, it was at this place called China One, and they were so good. So good.
Yeah, I bet somebody makes gluten free ones, but they're probably not good.
You can get gluten-free wontons,
It's
but I myself am not going to try and make a crab rangoon. It probably will be turn out like ass.
I have I have a dumpling maker that I have, like it's just like a folder. You know what I mean? But I haven't used it yet. I need to make. I'm trying to. I have a recipe for like gluten free like dumplings that I'm gonna make. But uh, yeah,
Well,
gluten.
man, if your wife is gluten-free, then you have a bunch of recipes you've tried, and I'll just have to
Oh,
ask you for new recipes.
I have. Anytime I make anything, it's like the words gluten free have to be in it because I mean my kids are slightly gluten free. They're more gluten sensitive. She doesn't have celiac or anything like that, but like if she eats gluten, like her stomach burns and it's just not great. But yeah, gluten free's hard. Bread with gluten free is fucking hard.
Yeah, bread is the hardest thing. The best bread I've found though is like the Aldi multigrain.
Yeah, what's that one? Country something. Oh no, Canyon
Country Hearth or Canyon. Yeah, the Canyon one.
is pretty good. Trader Joe's, their gluten free stuff is pretty decent. Like as far as like buns and I can't think of the name right now. It's a breakfast thing. Old like English muffins.
Hmm.
They're the old Trader Joe's like English muffins are really good. Um, according to my wife, I don't eat it because I you have to toast everything. If it's not toasted, it's not good. Like the crust is super hard.
It's
Like,
true. You do have to toast a lot of gluten-free bread items. Otherwise, it's
well,
just
that it's
not.
a piece of bread is this big.
I know it sucks.
It's like, here's the loaf. That's $12. Cool.
That's why I like the Aldi loaves because they're actually quite large.
But that the live G
The
free.
Live G free, yeah.
Yeah, they make good stuff. Their macaroni and cheese is good.
Yep.
Because I don't even buy normals. The only normal things I buy in the house for me is bread and like tortillas. Like other than that, like everything in my house is like gluten free.